Let's go back to game 2 of the semifinals. Cavs Pacers. The Pacers are in the battle.
The timing of it and the connectivity of this whole defensive set has got to be elite right now for the Pacers to be able to execute. Even if you don't get the turnover, fine, you got to commit the foul probably within the first 4 seconds or so.
The Cavs are starting to put a lot of pressure on Indy while hosting on their home floor. They were the higher seed after all.
Cavs by 4 with 1:20 left. Okoro gets it to Mitchell in the center circle. Mitchell being harassed, spins out of it, double team, cross court to Strus. 3, got it! Max Strus! He got loose!
Indiana coach Rick Carlisle is one to say a lot of profound things at the right moment. And right here, he says something I want you to pay attention to for this video.
Their physicality is going to increase in this game. Their pressure is going to increase. We've got to rise to those challenges, and we're going to have to play one of our best games of the year to hang in this thing. And these games are all coming down to one possession.
Pause right there. He says, we're going to have to play one of our best games as the games are coming down to one possession. Essentially, they are going to have to play mistake-free basketball. I mean, that sounds easier than it actually is, but this is the playoffs. The opposing team is literally set up to force you to make mistakes, and yet somehow they pull it out thanks to this man. And guess what? The opposing crowd is saying in this moment.
Working Jerome, left hand drives, he's in the lane, he's at the goal, and he's clobbered. He'll go to the line with 12 and 4/10 seconds left, a chance to cut it down to 1. And the first one is clean. Haliburton has scored half of his 16. One is short, and it's rebounded by Haliburton. The Pacers have a timeout. Will they use it? 4 seconds to go. Haliburton for 3! 3 ball! Up top! Indiana by 1! 1 and 1/10 seconds to go. Inbound. Mero didn't get it off.
Tyrese Haliburton trying to take Cleveland's heart.
And this rivals the Milwaukee finish.
You have got to be kidding me.
The Indiana Pacers in a Game 2 stunner.
They are calling Tyrese Haliburton overrated. But wait, this isn't just about Haliburton hitting a game-winning shot. It's deeper. Hallie, as a lot of people like to call him, has risen to become one of the best decision makers in all of basketball. He has mastered what decisions to make every time on the court, as if he just has a knack for this, as if he was programmed to be this way from birth. This play in particular, he had the defense second-guessing themselves the whole game, and then suddenly he turns down the open pass in the corner, which he usually hits. He sails a hard drive, and the defender freezes up for a second, and then he reads that and burns him with a step-back game-winning 3. You and I may think long and hard about what decisions to make under these circumstances, but for Haliburton, it comes second nature, and I want to take some time to explore this and also analyze whether Haliburton is truly overrated or if he is a master of his craft, navigating the ship through the wild seas that is the NBA playoffs. Before we continue with this video, being a one-man team, the process of creating these highly edited videos are very challenging, having to script, record, and edit, especially when most of the videos would be demonetized because of the broadcast of the games being copyrighted. So to continue to help be able to put out these videos, I would like to ask you guys to support me over on Patreon at Hoop Wars Universe, link in the description box below. There you will be able to get access to these videos early and be amongst our initial following to grow this into a huge movement. Now with that said, let's get back to the video. Let's zoom out for a moment, because to understand why Haliburton is this good at avoiding mistakes, you have to go back to where it started, Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Now look, Oshkosh isn't one of those basketball factory towns where prospects get molded in elite pipelines. It's blue collar, gritty, grounded, the kind of place where you don't survive on flash, you survive on field. You learn how to read the game, not just play it. Haliburton didn't blow up in high school. He wasn't being hyped on national mixtape channels or flying in for elite camps. He was skinny, a little awkward, and didn't even average 20 a game his senior year. But what he did have was feel. A real unnatural calm under pressure.
Yeah, what? For sure. That's not even, like, I had to, because it was easy. When I go home, I just, I'd kill everybody in my area. That wasn't it was always like that from when I was a little kid. Like, there's some people gave me some competition here and there, but it really wasn't anything for me. But that was the real challenge, because I might be more talented, more skilled, but they just play with, a different type of tenacity. They pick up full court. I transitioned from being in third grade, I was like a 4, so I never had the ball because I was just a taller kid. Yeah. And in fourth grade, I just jumped to being a 1, like that after our first tournament. And I was just comfortable there because I've always had a knack for just passing the ball. It's something I've always done my whole life. But when I go play, Milwaukee, like they're picking me up full court. I couldn't dribble like that. Yeah, so it was
pressing and all that stuff.
What? It was a growth process for me, and to be honest, I didn't really get comfortable handling full court pressure till like my sophomore year of high school for real. Like I didn't want to bring the ball up. I wrestled with my confidence a lot growing up. There was a time from probably like 6th grade to 8th, 9th grade where I just felt like I was not getting any better. I was just even. Everybody else was getting better. I was just doing nothing. And it was a reality check for me once I got to high school. I started working with a new trainer, Coach B. He started coaching me in AAU as well. He kind of changed my life, in terms of the confidence I have when I play basketball.
So did he teach you how to be a point guard?
Yeah, for sure. And that's something that I take pride in, and something that I think he just broke things down. And as a kid, I didn't understand what he was doing. Yeah. But now looking back, I understand, like, we only ran flat ball screens. Yeah. So I used to run a flat ball screen every time down the floor. He didn't call no plays. He didn't believe in plays. We pressed all game and ran flat ball screens. Yeah. And I used to just pick up reads. Like, he was teaching me flipping it over my head before he was teaching me anything else. And I used to think, like, this guy's crazy. Why would I throw this pass? But that is such a natural pass now with, the way the game is. We play
Kicking
so much pick and pop, flipping it back, And as I got to college and, transitioned to being a point guard in college, then all those reads that he was showing me in AAU and through workouts were coming alive in games.
Start seeing them.
Man. And
that mindset of avoiding the mistake instead of chasing the highlight, that's what stuck. And it followed him straight to Iowa State. Now, his freshman year wasn't mind-blowing on paper, but there were moments, flashes, like the time he dropped 17 assists against Southern with no turnovers. Let me repeat that. 17 dimes, 0 mistakes.
I was just sharing the basketball. After the Iowa game, I was going to do radio with Heft, and he told me that, he's like, yeah, good game, but I still need you to break my assist record. And I was like, I'll break it. And I didn't mean this game, but I told him I'd break it eventually. And then this morning, me, Mar, and P were talking at shoot around. I told him that I was going to break it tonight. So I was just trying to share the ball, and I guess it worked.
Then came the game against Kansas, a legit breakout moment, not because of some gaudy box score, but because he looked like he belonged. The speed, the spacing, the reads, all of it. You could see it happening in real time. His brain was adapting faster than the game could throw problems at him. This is where things start getting surgical. We tend to associate greatness with risk takers, guys and girls who go for the dagger pass or the heat check 3. But Haliburton, he's the opposite archetype. He's not built on chaos, he's built on control. Let me walk you through 3 specific areas where Haliburton routinely turns down the big swing, and that's exactly why he wins. Number 1, we can talk about the risk filter. In a league where young guards are eager to thread needles or try no-look bounce passes in traffic, Haliburton's eyes do something different. He sees the window, he scans the defender's hips, and then he lets it go. Tyrese showed great feel almost immediately going back to high school. It was just something he always had in his bag. That same vision, if we can bring it back to today, can lead to him grabbing the offensive rebound and just finding the smallest cracks to deliver passes like this. Literally, he doesn't force it. If the advantage is even slightly closing, he'll skip the pass entirely. Instead, he might pivot, reset, relocate, or call for a dribble handoff, because a clean possession is better than a highlight turnover. And in Game 4 versus the Knicks, you'll see it over and over. It's clinical. This play is a perfect example. You have Aaron Nesmith come off the stagger and flow directly into a handoff before receiving the ball, with Miles Turner diving to the rim. On the initial action, Hallie could have easily threw it to Turner, who has a size advantage on the roll, but he'd rather not force the pass and let Nesmith get it to Turner, who has the better angle. I think this play really visualizes what I mean. You see him see something and he thinks about it, and then his brain kind of tells him not to throw it. He sees another opening because his vision isn't the problem, but instead he opts for the easier pass to the corner, although that player isn't necessarily ready to shoot. He's pretty much the definition of not making the home run pass unless it's wide open. What ends up happening is that he has to take it to the paint and shoot a contested runner. I mean, that was kind of the downsides of that, but I'm not saying it's negative, but it's more so just acknowledging that this is his style. Here we can see a more positive side of this style because you have a double drag screen and the big slips downhill, and instead of hitting the diver, he hits the lift on the weak side. You may see a guy like Luka hit roll man, but Hallie is geared to hit that skip pass. And then you have these two plays to kind of sum up what I'm talking about. A lot was made of Tyrese leaving his feet to make a pass, but his risk aversion on high risk passes is how he gets away with it. He knows exactly where his release valves are at in the offense, so no matter what, he always has a safe option to pass it to. But when he leaves his feet, it's usually when he sees a potential home run, but if the defense who is geared to stop it reacts, he'll just find his release valve or a better or more safer option. The second area we can look at is his off-ball awareness. A point guard who disappears on purpose. Most guards can't stand not having the ball in their hands. It's like a control thing. But Haliburton, he knows how to vanish just enough to let the defense breathe and then snap back into the play with a cut, a lift, or a relocation three. He talked about how in high school and AAU, how he played off ball initially as the shooting guard, even though he still had point guard tendencies.
He really changed my life, and he made me feel really comfortable being a point guard. And to be honest, I wasn't even a point guard until our 17U AAU year. Yeah. Like 15U, 16U, I played the two guard. We had a really good point guard named Keontae White who falls in that category. You're talking about just Milwaukee hoopers. He used to kill everybody. And I was a two guard. My job was just to make threes and play defense. That's all I did. And then he left and joined the new AAU team my senior year. And so I was just kind of, and a couple other guys left, so I was kind of alone, you know, and
had to put the ball in your hand.
Had to,
couldn't get nobody to get to.
Man, baptism by fire. It really helped me for sure.
So you know who De'Aaron Fox is and how good of a player he is. Did you think that y'all can play together, or you think that you coming right in and just backing them up?
No, I thought for sure we could play together because, like, I played the two, like I had to, so it was like, now it's just kind of getting back to what I've done before. I know what I'm doing to be the two guard. And I think the way the league is going now, you know, it's positionless, and like you kind of need two point guards on the floor at times, you know, for like two guys that, you know, can direct offenses. Like even you look at Golden State, like Draymond is really, you know, a point in terms of getting guys in positions and things like that. So I was like, nah, this can work. This can be fun. I was really excited. And when I got there my rookie year, I was like, whatever they need me to do, I'm going to do. So I came off the bench and, you know, I would sub Fox a little bit, play with Fox a little bit. And it was a fun growing experience. I learned a lot.
This clip of him in high school describes this perfectly because we see him receive the ball in the slot and immediately attacks off the catch, and then he is able to hit the open man in the corner. On this play, we see how he is able to go a whole possession without touching the ball and just let the offense run through his teammates. This subtle off-ball IQ allows him to create space without over-dribbling, while keeping the defense constantly second-guessing. In Game 4, one of his biggest sequences came without even touching the ball for the first 10 seconds of the possession, because sometimes not making the play is the play. And Hallie understands this more than anyone. You'll often see him combine the two mentalities I talked about, where not only does he make the simple play, but he does what I call empowering his teammates, because by giving them the ball, it allows them to attack shifting defenses. So he not only passes it early, but he allows his teammates to be assertive. Getting back to the point of the video, this is a way for him to still get the assist without getting turnovers, because if the teammate loses it, that's their turnover. But if they score, it's still his assist if they score quickly enough. On this play, You can see how it benefits the offense because by him getting off of it quick, that allows his teammates to attack space, draw the help, and kick it out to another teammate for the open shot, giving Haliburton the hockey assist. And lastly, we could talk about pace manipulation. He's playing chess while others is playing checkers. Where most guards use speed to overwhelm, Haliburton uses hesitation to disarm. He's not trying to collapse the defense with reckless drives. He's trying to freeze them long enough to force a decision. Looking at this high school footage, you see how he uses his eyes and head movements to manipulate the defense, either getting them to stay home or commit. A lot of times, he'll jump not to score or pass, but to literally move and finish with his body language. Then land, reassess, and flow right into the next option. That's not a bailout, that's a possession control. This isn't low-risk basketball, it's precision basketball. All this leads to defenders kind of over-anticipating his passing, and they'll just back off of him, and he's able to burn them with his three-point shot. Here you can see him rock Mitchell Robinson asleep and buries it in front of him. And then we get to this play. It's late in the third quarter, Knicks are starting to claw back, and Indiana's momentum is hanging on by a thread. Most young guards in this moment, they try to force something, but what Haliburton does is different, even for his standards. Check it out. First, he runs a double drag screen. With that, he tries to get into that mid-range kill spot, and he picks his dribble up and leaves his feet. Then once in the air, obviously his eyes scanning, clock ticking, he looks for this home run play, but then he thinks to make the simple play. And then boom, he realizes that he can actually get the clean look to the person diving and lets it go. Miles Turner, with his size advantage in the paint, was able to finish and provide a good level of stability to the team as the Knicks were trying to make a flurry. No celebration, no flex, just a look back at his bench like, y'all saw that? That's instinct, that's hardwired. And here's what that means now. Tyrese Haliburton put up 32 points, 12 rebounds, 15 assists, and 0 turnovers in a playoff game. Not some January regular season stretch, not against the Wizards in tank mode, against the Knicks on the postseason stage in Madison Square Garden. Well, this was actually in Indiana, but yet there are still people calling him overrated. But maybe that's the point. Maybe we're so used to equating greatness with flash that we forget what mastery looks like when it's quiet. Haliburton's not here to convince the doubters. He's here to run the system, read the floor, and make the right play over and over and over again until the scoreboard does the talking. So the next time you hear someone say Haliburton doesn't have that dog in him, he doesn't have the it factor, he's not dominant, just ask them one thing. How many other guards in the league are out here giving 15 assists and 0 mistakes in the playoffs? Exactly. Now watch the tape again, and you'll have your answer. With that said, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below your thoughts on Haliburton, his dominance, how great he is, how mistake-free he plays. Give me your suggestions on any videos you would like to see in the future as well. That said, peace.